live. Yes, that's what it says.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Choo-choo went bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, choo-choo went bye-bye.
Cuckoo.
Yes.
Cuckoo. Bye-bye.
Yes. Choo-choo went bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Yep, choo-choo went bye-bye.
Choo.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Yep, you're going to find your choo-choo? And it's like one watching. That'd be me. But I have 6. There's a thumbs up. So, join the conversation to interact. I'm not going to try and type at the same time. And we all know that. But I got to get to the next part so I can get the chat to even show up. Because in other words, it's only what they consider top chat. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Gayla. The first 2. It's like, someday I'm going to look up what those community guidelines are. I know we're supposed to be polite and considerate. Hi, Pam. It's like, it takes a lot getting 2 of us ready. But it's like, I got it. I'm playing with her. These are McDonald's fries. There's a plastic container. There's 2 sides of fries. She keeps, I put them back in the box. She keeps handing them back to me. She's eating cereal and watching hers. But it has been a, yep, round and round and round and round. Yeah. Oops. There. But Cheryl is just about putting the last borders on her bunny table topper that when the other day I showed the 4 bunny heads and circled. That's what she decided to make. So she could say she made the bunnies pattern. It's just one of those things. Everybody's got to make some of the patterns one time. And this is the good time to do it. And her daughter will get a table topper. She doesn't know it. But today, I'm going to attempt the Arizona block. A lot of pieces in this. Because I have D, I did do some pre-prep. And then the pattern will be in the description after the program. And a picture on top. It'll be somebody sewing. She's at my table. And I already have to thread my machine. Hi, Kim. How's all your Hunter Star coming? I was threading this a second time, and she said, no, you're not, Grandma. She pulled the thread out again. Oh, it's like, now it's unplugged. Whoop. You can't go very far. You're just pivoting on Grandma's knee. Because she's got that whole table in front of her. But Pam's saying hi to everybody. It's like, it's hard to keep up with every single name that comes in here. Believe me, I know. the back is getting better. I still have my moments, like when I had to pack her to the diaper change. It's like, oh. Hi, Sharon. Arizona block, yes. Is that appropriate? This was made June 12th, 2023. And on Kathy Quilts and Crafts, Kathy is the one that was teaching this instructions. That's what it says, because she picked it because this is the state she was born in. But I'm doing it in no purple, red, white, and blue. I always have, it's like on days like with her, I do some few subcuts and sews and whatnot. Because it took me a while last night. There, where you going? You going to say hi? Tell everybody hi. Look up here. Say hi. Now she's going to have everything open here. I'm going to have to use my phone for if I need to chat to anybody. So, Cheryl's table topper will be on my community page when she gets it done. What? The battery died. No fits, no fits. The battery's dead. I know, that's sad, isn't it? Yeah, it's sad. Grandma's ordering new cords. No, you have to wait. I know, it is so sad.
What's he wearing?
Yeah, let's find something here.
What's he doing?
Yeah?
None.
Yeah? It is so sad that the internet isn't working on an iPad because its battery's dead. What's the cow say? What does the doggy say? Yeah. Hi, June. It's all on the floor. She's having a bad day. She got up at 6:30. She's trying to talk in sentences more and more every day. It's like all these commercials. They drive you nuts. You want to do 5 Little Monkeys? Because you're a monkey today. It starts with 5 Little Monkeys. We've had cereal thrown on the floor. We've had all sorts of stuff. It's just not her day. But it's like, when she's in a better mood, I'll see if I can put her over there. But in the meantime, oh, I set the pattern clear out here. Because all the requirements are on the pattern. It's not something that you can grab right this minute and cut and sew. And then where I changed from their colors to red, white, and blue, that was a challenge. But I just write in pencil what color I used and where. The next fun part was then you have to translate those colors over to your sewing assembly. But good morning, Sharon. It's like I can see Sharon, Cheryl, and June and Kim's names. I see 4 names at a time. You figured it would look spiky? Yeah. But I'm doing it in red, white, and blue. It's like I'm going to try to adapt all the rest of the blocks I do in red, white, and blues. And then if I get enough blocks, I can donate a Quilt of Valor or have one for my daughter, one of the daughters, or depends on how many blocks I do. This week's a lot of blocks because I'm doing one just about every day. I'm just killing time. But there's a lot of on here. There's 4 Flying Geese units. There are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12 half square triangles. So I'm going to try and do that. Did Lisa join? If she did, hello Lisa. Because there's 3 hello Lisas. So I figured she must be here. Trying to get set up with the little star. And then if I have to, I will just put the other cutting board up here to do my cuts. Oh, you're showing them? Okay, thank you. You was such a good Vanna White. Yes, you was. Now you're on the weather. It's 46. Let's get you out of the weather. Oh.
Kitty, kitty.
That's kitty, yes. Yeah, kitty says yow. Kitty.
Kitty boy.
Yeah. But it's like, hi, Carrie. Getting dry throat already. It's like, only liquid I've had so far is what I brush my teeth with. And then I have to watch that because that makes me nauseated. I just can't stand the taste of toothpaste anymore. So I brush my teeth and hope it stays in. She's falling. She's falling and she can't get up. But you got to entertain every once in a while. You got to say hi, everybody. I'm trying to watch for any new names that come in. And being, I'm not going to take away her table. I'm hand cutting my diagonals. I drew on each side the line. So I have a lot to cut. This one here might not get done today. But I'm hoping I can. I'm hoping I got enough ahead. I was wishing my little cutting board was here. My little 6.5 incher. Or 6.5 by 9. But it's not. But we are going to do this. It's not as easy as it used to be. She used to fit in the arms and could swaddle easier, but we adapt. We adapt. And Cheryl's sewing. And then she'll be sandwiching. Then probably a lunch break. And then her quilting. It's like the other night when we was goofing off, that's when I figured out I could take the 4 bunnies and make a little table topper. They're putting a whole bunch of stuff in that Jell-O pudding thing and then eating it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's you. That you? Are you getting better? That you're eating your white cheddar Cheetos. They don't make her hands orange. I was going, am I missing a block? No. It's down here on the table. Hi, Gladys. I can't, I should have mowed my lawn in the dark last night. Because now we got rain. And it's supposed to rain for the next couple days. Chance of snow on one of the days. It's like I could almost start singing her songs here. We could have nursery school. The wheels on the bus. Before the grandkids, it's like I drove between the grandkids and the great grandkids. I drove a 14 passenger bus to Blues Fest. And the adults sang Wheels on the Bus. It's on patchworksquare.com is where you get it, Sharon. If I could tag it off of the phone, I would. And my tablet, I don't think I got enough. Let's see if I have enough battery. Because it's still telling me low. Yeah, alphabetically under Arizona. And you get to see all sorts of pretty ones on your way there. But I'm just going by the blocks I have printed. You know, save that paper. If I find a star block that I really, 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 really have to have, then it will be that. Shopping cart. Do we want shopping cart? No. Yeah, it's like it's we do. I have it saved also. As soon as I get the PA, it's usually right up there, patchworksquare.com. Then I go to quilt blocks, alphabetical, go to the A. When it gets done flipping all those advertisements. But that's how they make their money. Because Abe Lincoln, Acanthius, Aircastle, Alaska Homestead. You got it? Okay. But I'm still going to post it, so if somebody else says not charging because it's like it's getting wore out. This poor thing's been run through the ringer. It's like I can see what she's doing. Oh, you do DuckDuckGo browser? I might have to try that. And you just heard it in stereo. Yep, there. I got it posted at least. It's good for a couple times on. Bless you. Bless you. Bye. Yeah. Bye. Where are they going? Kitty cat? What's kitty cat say? She has a Maya hair on there. Uh-oh, Grandpa. Yes, sir. We're on live.
Papa?
What? Why? What are you up to?
Papa? Papa?
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. You want to say hi, Papa? Say hi. That's her. It's like she's just grinning. Yeah. Okay. So I will get back to the live. Bye.
Kiki? Kiki?
What? Kitty go what? Kitty go meow meow. You press this one. That one. I used to have a set of patterns that was the state block.
Kiki.
A lady borrowed them and then got rid of some. Then when she got rid of some of hers, she gave mine away too. Yeah. It's not cheap to print out all this stuff. It's like my old printer was $70 to buy the ink. And I only got 30-some pages out of it. I was not happy. I complained to the company. And you know how much that worked. I don't know what I got gooey on my glasses, but it's like, I know that spot wasn't there. There. So I have 3 ring binders full. I alphabetized them. And then they have the tabs. Yeah. With the ABCs. So they're all alphabetical too. And nobody borrows these books. I've had a cookbook I loaned. Well, I didn't even loan the cookbook out. So one of the family members, which I think is ex-daughter-in-law, she come in and borrowed it, and to replace that book, that one cookbook was $70. It was my first cookbook I bought or ordered or whatever when I got married. Says Ritzville rain expected to end this afternoon. Well, considering it's only 10 o'clock, that's going to be a long ways away. But there's a doggy going to bite. Yeah. That doggy going to bite you? Yeah, right. Yeah. I had bought the set from a quilting company, paid over $40 for it. Yeah, because you can't get every single state one now. There's a quilt company in Iowa that does the thrift store should have binders. I don't go over the I think they call them a 1-inch. Randy's saying, hi, Dee. Say hi, Randy. Look up there. Delaney. 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 Say hi. She's eating her cereal. She's now having her cheese puffs. I sat 2 M&Ms out after her thing yesterday. She found them before I even got on live. She was quick to find those 2 M&Ms. And that's all she's getting. Her mama said it was okay in small quantity. But I don't think our rain's quit yet. Let me see. Without burning my arm on the iron. Yeah. I think we're just a very light sprinkle. Hi, Fern. I just happened to be where I turned my head at the right time. I'm doing the Arizona block from Patchwork Squares. Patchwork Square, not squares. And I have to trim these to 2.5. The little star can be up front. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Joe. Yeah, it's like, you should have been around earlier when she was mad, and she'd shake the dish that her cereal was in, and then they'd be all over the floor. And I says, I didn't do it. So I would start picking them up, and I put them in the bowl and say thank you as I do it usually. But she started picking them up, putting them right back in the bowl. And I says, I wasn't the one that had to fit. The bunny topper on your community page. Okay, that way everybody knows Cheryl did it. My bunnies will be going into the table topper, because when I was sitting here playing that day, Cheryl and I was together, and she said, I'm going to make that. Because there's different things you can do with things. You just have to, I guess, use your imagination, just flip blocks around and try them. If I miss anybody when I'm back forth.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yep. You gotta skip the ad. Skip the ad. Skip the ad, people. Yeah, they're not letting you skip it. Hey. Beak, that's enough. I know. Let's clean up let's clean it up. Let's try to clean it up. Which one you want? Let's scroll up here. There. Oh, Joe and Vern? Yeah, Sherry. It's like, I'm going, who? Put 2 and 2 together, come out with 4. or 3 in the new math. I'm sure the new math, we haven't been informed, but 2 and 2 isn't 4 anymore. They keep. Yeah, you was using voice. Yes. I practice with voice. I practice by reciting "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." That's a fun one. Just like typing way back when. It's like my dad in his typing, they had to be able to do, it's time for all good men to come to the aid of their party. So many times and then when the minute was up, the teacher stopped them. But he had to type out, time to come to the aid of all good, time to come to the aid of all good parties or something. And I guess it hits just about every letter on the key. And then he also, by what word you ended it in, how many lines, he could tell you how many words per minute, letters per minute you was typing, and nothing flat. And my dad would make us do that all the time. Time to come to the aid of time good men. Oh, it's like I have to try to remember what it was. What, sweetie? You want in your chair? Is it empty? It's empty. Oh no. Yeah, it's empty. You can play if you want. What? Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their party. That's what they typed. But he set the timer, and they would go by that. Oh, I know. You want to go nappy now. Randy, she's all yours. Like, she's all yours. What? Grandma spank you? What? 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 Yeah? What you gonna do? Oh, your Wawa. Yes. When I was learning to type, we had to type, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. But I bet you, probably each teacher had their own thing. Well, we know what's going to happen here. Yeah, you learn it by heart. Yes. Guess who's not going to make it? Yeah, you're fine. But I know, here, I'll rearrange this. Pull this quilt down here. Yeah. Okay, right here. Here. Right there. Go that way. No, you're fine. You're fine. What? Oh, I know. It's like, let's go back to this way to go to sleep. It doesn't take her long. It used every letter. Then we had to, our own explanation marks and all the numbers. Add. Okay? But it's like, I still have a typewriter. I still have a typewriter. They, and ribbon. Yes, it's nap time. If I give her the thing in my back pocket, would be easier for her. Here. But I made the chair behind me more comfortable. But it's like, sometimes she sleeps. I can sit her over there and she'd go right to sleep, and other times I have to rock her just enough. Hi, Jennifer. You wish you had a typewriter? Yeah. I dig it out every now and then, and I practice on it. And it has erase, where you can back step erase. But I'm sure my ribbon's starting to get dried up. But there's a new picture posted on my community page of the table topper with the 4 rabbits. Your dog gets cranky before she naps? Yeah. Okay, let's switch over here. There you go. Shh, 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 shh. Rub her leg for a little bit. Oh, so I can move these up here now. I don't know. I'll have to look. It's the... I'd have to look to see what it was. The reason I own a typewriter is because the school required it for my daughter Ronnie. They say we cannot read her writing whatsoever. So we had to buy a typewriter. And then when it came out to computers, then we had to do the computer with the printer. And I says, well, how do you even know if that's her work? I says, Melinda could do all of her homework if it has to be typed. Amazon still sells ribbons. Smith Corona, I forget. But I mean, it cost us a lot to get the typewriter, and then when they wanted us to go with the computer, I was trying to find one of the old plunk with the cloth ribbon. I didn't want the electric. And then they learned how to do animals by typing out type space, type space, different letters, different symbols. They were starting to do the animal art. And I thought, what's next? Let me get this cleared off. That is so cute over here. It's like, pull her back this way a ways. There. Isn't that cute? Hi, Nina. The star is here. She crashed. Hi, Lisa Brown. So I think we have 2 Lisas in here now. both same spelling. But the Arizona block. Move forward so I can reach the pattern for it. No purple involved. That's the Arizona block. And I'm doing in red, white, and blue. Now I have to place these pieces. Where they need to be. I'm hoping I'm getting them there right. And the red goes down in the blue. Because it makes a big red stop sign. Yeah, I'm going to, as I earlier, I said that I'm going to do red, white, and blue for the rest of the blocks and work on a Quilt of Valor. So there's what it looks like in red, white, and blue, which I like these colors better. I only have 2 reds and you're seeing them. That's the reds I have, so I'm going to have to put on my list. But I pre-did all the 4 flying geese units. I had the half square triangles sewed. I had to trim them. So now it's the menagerie of sewing the rows together. Because I'm going to sew the rows. But I'll turn the camera down a bit. You'll still be able to see the star back there. She's so cute. And I have the dog under my feet. Gotta rearrange a few things. Yeah, buying yards of red. Yeah. I did that to buy the whites. But I have to be able to justify buying the other parts. Okay, I was going to say, Lynn started on my quilt already. It's a box opening from Soft Squares. But she might have my quilt on the long arm behind her. Last time she did something like that, I was trying to peek over it to see if I could see the quilting. And she was hoping that there was just enough not showing. But on my quilt that she has, yeah, it's under her, the other purple quilt. The purple rag quilt is what she's laying on. I'm sewing this together. Yes, the purple Jacob's Ladder on her YouTube short is... Oh, my purple quilt is behind Lynn. Okay. But it was the second Jacob's Ladder that she had done in all of her quilting career. And I love how she took And all that fabric, except for the white background, was leftovers from wide backings and other that I had purchased up on the shelf. I'm still leery on these. Because she says it's a big one. It's not a queen. It is not a queen. I can tell you that. I don't like the way that one's sitting. Because somebody didn't trim this one block. That's what happens when you jump ahead with a little one. Trying to get things together with a little one is distracting. I should have come in here one more time last night and got things together. And somebody said they liked the photo that was shared in my community. Now I got Mona did what is live in 30 minutes. All these pop-ups to keep popping up over here. They go chime, chime, chime. But I noticed I did not trim that one. And I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to trim it until I get this piece together. Because I can do that. Put that back up out of the reach. That's the corner one. Yeah, it's like the light purple was a 108 backing. The dark purple was only a 45, but I'm still using that fabric. It was used in the wonky log cabin. It's because I have weird set-ins pieces for the, what is it called? The cut-off pieces. The pieces I cut off that I saved. I put them on a great big huge like 30 by 30 piece of purple. And that's where that dark purple come from. Plus it's borders on quilts. It's used several times. It is used several times. I'm not grabbing leader and enders today. I am goofing off. I'm just making to make. That goes that way, that goes that way. I'm making 4 patches. Match up the points and the seams and this and that. Yeah. It's like, to me, in my wording, I says you took the wicked stepsister and made her Cinderella. That's what I told her. She always wonders where I get some of my ways. So this is one unit that we have to make 4 of. We have to make 4 of this unit. Sit that back up there. We had to make 4 flying geese units. And I didn't cut off the dog ears. It's like, you know, I was kind of hoping that I didn't have little one today, but it doesn't matter to me. But her aunt is still congested, and I'd rather she get better before Easter because we're having a get together. And then you have to make 4 of this unit. So I'll continue out here. But what's everybody else working on or their plans for the holiday? Because I thought about by finishing, if I make a table topper, I could take it out and put it on the table and then leave it behind. It's kind of a thank you for the dinner type thing. But spruce up the table. But we usually have 3 or 4 tables. You're still quilting on your quilt? That's a work in progress. Trying to get done. That's all we can do. That one went that way, so this one presses this way. And June isn't using her mid-arm. She's using her domestic. Last I knew. So I've got another one of them done. Now I'll get the other part of the flying goose done. I left one flying goose to do today. If I would have known somebody was going to fall asleep. But she's only going to get a nap just before 11, and then it's going to make a long afternoon for me. And then we got to get plastic eggs out of the garage because we have to stuff some with some M&Ms. And then Emily needs some to take home and stuff. I'm setting the seam so it presses over easier. Yeah, you're still using your domestic. It's like I've never managed to do that yet. Frankenbatting now. Frankenbatting. Oh no. That, like on Frankenbatting, do you guys stitch them together? Do that iron-on stuff? Or do you just lay it in there and overlap it a little? I stitch mine together. I tried that iron-on stuff. That could get expensive. I went through one $7, $9 roll of it and said, done. So then I started stitching it, hand stitch, lay it on my countertop and just go for it. Okay, it's like Cheryl answered. Go sneeze. Oh, I'm cheating. I'm not. I found a 1/4 inch and went to it. I like keeping all my. I was trying to piece batting yesterday, come up short, gave up, and ordered a new one the right size. That happens too. That happens too. It's amazing what happens when we change our ways. I have a whole bunch of them, about 4 inches wide. It's like, what do I do with them? Sewed. This one's not sewed. This one's not trimmed either. This 1, 2. I thought I had them all and trimmed them. But guess what? Okay. Yep. Everybody's doing the butt it together and zigzag it. One time I serpentine stitched it on the biggest stitch I had. And that worked. I'm trying to think of what I consider a flippin' quilt as you go, flip and sew. We all use flip and sew, stitch and sew. We use them all in different ways. I take the girls. Their next thing was a quilt as you go. And everybody said, use a sheet, use a sheet, use a sheet. So I bought a sheet and Emily started hers. And it's where you keep the back. Serpentine is the snake one. On my brother, it's number 22. It's just a lot of stitches and it just serpentines down like a snake. I call it the snake stitch. Serpentine. I don't know what they actually call it. Because mine are just numbers. But it gets both sides of the line. That's the main thing. It gets both sides of the line. Okay, put these back like they were supposed to be. That one that way. That one that way. It's just because I have a number 4 zigzag, a zigzag that does like 3 stitches over, 3 stitches back, 3 stitches over, 3 stitches back. I have a couple different types of zigzags. So I just did that one because it got on both sides. That's the main reason I did that one. I should have picked up this one. Means the other one wasn't trimmed. I just made the other one fit in. It works perfect. Trying to save some time out here. There's no rush. she's sleeping, and we all know where she's at. But I do have to go unlock the front door for her mom. That is the hardest door to unlock that I've ever had. And it's like one of the blocks or two of the blocks fell. It's like, no, they're under the sewing machine. Ugh. I've used 3 stitches, one to put the doggy mattress together. It's denim. Okay. Yeah. Sound asleep peacefully over there. Used to be when she's a baby, if I would sew, she'd wake right up. So she's getting older, and it's not as exciting anymore, I guess. I don't know. Or she's just dog tired. But they say 4 hours after they wake, they want to sleep. Well, very true, because she woke up at 6:30. So that one's together. This one will be together here shortly. Sewing all the pieces. That way, that way, that way. But I thought, by doing these all in red, white, and blue, that it would be nice to do a quilt of valor. It'd be cheaper if I would donate locally, but I don't know which veteran I would give it to locally. And then, but I would, because I'd have to get the information from the person, and I could give it in honor to my neighbor, the one that just, he did Vietnam. But to get the information from him, and I could ask the ex-wife, because I'm still in contact with the ex-wife. Because you have to know the years of deployment. There's some stuff you have to know in order to gift it to a veteran. You're supposed to know, I should say. Supposed to know. So that one needs to go press the other direction. Have to use a little water to coax it. When you press one direction, you always have to coax it back with a little bit of liquid. They don't like wanting to change their direction. But denim should last the dogs a while. That's why I have denim beach blanket. But we're supposed to have decent weather for the Easter day. It's supposed to be 65 and no rain here. Which is a good thing. I don't want the little ones. They're getting older. My oldest two turned 7 this year. It's like, can't be already. My husband was gone a year, so he missed all of his greats. I'm sure he's watching from above. Kim, I started a quilt of valor for my late husband, but he passed before I could finish it. What I did get done is packed in a box. Well, finish it, Kim, and submit it to the Quilt of Valor in honor of him. Get it recorded for him. And then put that on the label, the information. And if, because the kids need to know different little things. Because I give Dave the printed letter where what number he was accepted. He thought that was kind of nice that they keep track. I can't give one to my husband. I could just make a red, white, and blue because he didn't serve on war ground. Because you have to serve on war ground in order to get Quilt of Valor. He's just what they consider a veteran because he served. My brother-in-law made sure to tell me that. I said, I know more than you know probably about it, but that's what happens with some family members. And I told him I wouldn't take the time to make him a quilt anyway. His wife can sew. I heard that for years. My kids didn't get quilts from Grandma because your mom can make them. I wouldn't want a quilt from his wife, but she only hand sews hers, but her stitches are like ½ inch apart. It's like they would come apart. A wedding quilt she made for her daughter was hanging on a garden trellis. And I went over and looked at it, and it's like I looked at the binding, and the binding was put on with over ½ inch stitches. It's like you could put your finger on there. Okay. It's like we thank him for his service. They're still honored because they participated. One from small towns like where I was born and raised. Small towns like that, they know, like the 1 year, only one person from our town enlisted. And he was over there, I mean, not even 6 weeks, and he was shot. He died over there. But it's like he's remembered every Veterans Day. Our town still honors, that small community still honors this 18-year-old kid. They honor him on Veterans Day, Memorial Day. But it's like, that was a rough time back then. My husband and brother-in-law, they both went in the service, and normally they don't take both sons from one family because they're the ones to take over, they said. But they accepted both my husband and his brother. They had to go in two different. They both went in the Air Force, but they had to go in different directions in the Air Force. They couldn't. So my brother-in-law was a bomb tester. So here's the 3 sections. Now I have to reach higher and get a few pins because there's some. Let's see if I need the pins. Oh, I can do it without them. Is meet the intersections. Get them nesting. Get the next one nested before I go over to the next one. And then nest the next one. Because where I didn't do 100% trimming because I skipped some stages. It's like, it was a big mess. But the background in my house is kind of quiet right now. You've been pinning places on the Hunter Star for sure. Works better for you. Well, one thing about the Hunter Star is there are parts that have to be trimmed because of those 2 seams we put in there. But this one here, I'm going to lose a point right here. Will it bother me that much? I don't. Like, it's like, because I could move it up an eighth. So I have to decide that now. Cheryl's layering and pinning. And in case you haven't noticed, it's bothering me. See, that's the problem with some things. If I have absolutely no point that it's going to show, I have to go move it. It's me. It is me. And I wish I could just, flip it over and sew it. For a while, I was ready to claim temporary insanity, but figured out my own system for sewing them together, and it's working. So sticking with it, that's right. And if you're sewing, as long as you're sewing your blocks, if you're off, you're off. But it's like, if you cut all of them, end up cutting them all, let's say 8 1/4 instead of 8 1/2. That's fine. It's the way it turns out. The block is a block. It still comes out. Sewing that scant quarter is not fun. That's the only way I can get AccuQuilt to even work right. I cannot get an AccuQuilt block to turn out 12.5 unless I do less than scant 1/4 inch. I tried and tried and tried. These shop hops would give us these AccuQuilt pre-cut things, and it just didn't work. My friend's was worse because she was so used to oh, this isn't the right ruler. So I'm going to cut off that edge so I can get it the right way. That's about what I was off. But she always sewed the seamstress seams, you know, the 1/2 inch. That was fun, trying to get her to sew quilts, not doing the 1/2 inch seams. Okay, at least that you was consistent, Kim. That's the main thing. You was consistent. It's okay. It's okay. She's trying to find a place to prop her head. That's why she's right by me. Oops. Knock over her juice. Because I now have in my drawer 100 star blocks because, you know, there's different people saying that they was coming off. Or how do you get all the fabric used? Because you don't use all the fabric. It doesn't line up on the outside edge. There is trim. Because you're adding back 2 1/4 inch seams in the one strip. So that should mean that we're off at the 1/2 inch on each one. You're going to do the sawtooth star for the next one. Don't want the waist of stitch and flip geese. These was not the waist one. These was the 3 triangles on this pattern. They was the 3 triangles. This triangle, the bigger one, and 2 smaller ones. That was this one. This is no waist. There's some that you put the whole square over there and go for it. Yeah, no. I know if you go up, I think it's a 1/4 inch, that you can do the flying geese. I call it a goose when I'm making one. I will always call it a flying goose when I'm only making one. The geese don't, the gaggle of geese doesn't come out till later. I was going, where'd my pieces go? I have her thing where my board was. And now I sew this piece on. but I like it. I yeah, the half square triangles are fine, Sharon. It's like I'm doing a variable star on one of my quilts because I have a bunch of 6.5 squares, and the center of the variable star is 6.5. So I can put all those blocks inside those other blocks. This needs to be the other way around, but we'll get it to work somehow. When you have extra fabric that you need to work in, it's best to have, because of the bias, because this is just red fabric. I don't know if I cut straight or not. It's always good to have the excess on the bottom because the feed dog walks it in and makes it prettier than our fingers on the top half. And if there's something that I don't like, then I'll just rip it out again. Point, 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 because there's a lot of points on this thing. And I didn't like the idea I lost 1 point. Let me press this, press it to the outside. So set the seam. And then do the flip. That one spot that I had to sandwich it in from the top, I might have to take it out and sandwich it in from the bottom, the back side. It just walks so much nicer. There, that's the block, Arizona, done in red, white, and blue. On the red, white, and blue block exchange that we did, I used up all the red, white, and blue I had of that, using those. And I was piecing pieces together. Yes, I have several missing corners and chips on my rulers, Kim. And that's considered normal use. For the side chips, I've hit it on something, a table, like my table edge here, or the iron. I forget how but I did a chip. And then on my long arm, oh my, you would think 1/4 inch plexiglass won't break. The first time my 1/4 inch ruler fell off of the long arm, it snapped. And then this one corner that I was worried about, I might take it apart. It has a little bit of a puff right here. You can kind of see it. So I might take apart from here to here and fix that. But thank you. I'm going to look ahead. The next block is the art square here in my collection. It was block 8 that year. I didn't write in pencil on it. Art square has this big 6.5 inch square that you could fussy cut. Like if I don't want to just have this frame, I can fussy cut a material, which I don't have anything patriotic to fussy cut. I could put a 4 patch there. I can put a square in the square there just to give it more dimension, or I can just go with it. But that's the next one in the book. And then what I do with this pattern, I go to the A section. Put it to the back. And when I get back alphabetically, yeah. Well, that's just it. My one ruler that I use the most for like cutting material, I have a chip on it. And how, I don't know how, but it could have been packing. And then if I come on Friday, it's going to be Aunt Dinah. Tomorrow will be Art Square because they're alphabetical. And that I'm just going to go section for section. Now, Baby Bud we're not doing because that's not from Patchwork Squares. Because I do have some patterns that I've got from different things. And then Beacon Lights, Bear Tracks are the bees. Because it's like Blueberry Pie. Bright Morning Star. Broken Window. That's the bees. So I'm using like back quarters or other partial yardage. How many yards total for a queen size bed? Or is that too variable? It's like, there again, someone said 5 yards of fabric about to take a double, 6 to make a queen, and 7 yards to make a king. I don't know how true that is because I've never made anything. It's like, it's all been so scrappy. So when I did do a thing by pattern, it took 20 fat quarters and background material to make a queen size. I think it was 20 fat quarters. But the blocks were 16.5, 17 inches. And then it was supposed to have sashing, which I never found a color I liked, so I left the sashing off. So my quilt ended up being smaller. But the reason I did 20 blocks is called Swoon 16, because it was 16 inches, so 16.5 undone, and 16 inches finished, and it's taken 16 fat quarters. The pun in the swoon block was Swoon 16, so I call mine Swoon 20 because I did 20 fat quarters, and 20 fat quarters is 5 yards of material without the background. And I think the background was 2.5 or 3 yards. The pattern's been passed from me to Courtney, and then Courtney to Cheryl. We just pass it. But everything depends. Like this block is little white. The green one used more white. So you never know on. But the Jacob's Ladder, I can't tell you either because that was all scraps. when we do scraps and scraps and scraps, it's terrible. But it's like, now my quiltography, let's see, on a star block, the quiltography can tell me yardage. Yes, I would say the higher of the number. I'm looking for my quiltography. There it is. Okay, taking sister to the doctor. I'll be on in the morning anyway, June. I'm trying to do the 10 and done by noon. That way, the things I need to get done, I can do. Just like I may or may not be on at the 3 o'clock things that Lori has, because that just works out to be my potty break. So I'm looking on quiltography. Looking if any are star blocks. Yes, there's one that's a star block. And let me find the ifs and the ors buts about it. Sashing on point, no border. I know I'm going to go ahead. And if you're doing 12-inch blocks, so now I got to find the block. I just got to quit making so many things. There it is. Take this one. This block. If you do the 12-inch finished, this one here has 42 blocks and it's only 72 by 84. So according to that, if you add sashing back into it, it makes a difference. But this is the one. Got 42 star blocks, 12 inches. And it measures 72 by 84. So with borders and sashing, that would probably be about right. And what it takes for background was 7 yards. The one red color was 1 3/4 yards, and the other was 1 1/2 yards. And that's without the border. I can go back and put sashing. This sashing is 2 1/8. And then the sashing color, I'm just putting some weird color in there to get the yardage. And it says for sashing, you need 1 3/4 yards. So I'll go back and for that, I put the sashing in it. So it would take 2 yards for sashing if you put sashing in and then the one frame around the whole outside edges. You'd have to have 2 yards. So right there, we're at 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 1/4 yards. And that's missing the outside border. So, and then, so it just depends. Person doesn't realize how much fabric they use until you have to sit down and do something like this. I was trying to remember if I did the Jacob's Ladder in here. No, I never did do the Jacob's Ladder. I forget what block this one Quilt of Valor I was going to do. It's got 30 blocks, two different blocks, and I did a disappearing 9 patch and then a 9 patch. This is the 2 blocks I used. This one has 15 of each, and it measures 60 by 72 at 12-inch blocks. And the yardage that takes was 1 yard of where just the 9 patch, and 1 1/4 yards where it did the disappearing 9 patch, and 2 1/4 yards of the background. And that didn't even make, it's a throw. Because this is the limits. They want the Quilt of Valors to be 60 by 80. That's one thing Quilt of Valor does have but I liked the overall look of that with just 2 blocks. So you might look at something like that if you want less fabric used. And I can add another thing on here. I am making it longer. The fun part's going back finding, because this saves all these. I go, this must be an awful big wheel. Every block I have to make individually on here, then go back and find them. And then, of course, the one way I start rolling is not the correct way. These should be near each other. Getting there. Got to be running out of this circle. There's that one. I can see the other one. And to make it longer, this makes it 60 by 84 by adding it's 17 9 patches and 18 disappearing 9 patches. Oh. And all I did was make it longer by 1 row. So now it's 60 by 84. And then if you put a borders around that, I put a framing border or border 1. You have to make your block first, and then you can you take pictures of your fabric. You can take pictures of the actual fabric that you want. Yeah, but you can always ask questions, Sharon. But like if you want, just for examples, put just some pictures of construction paper, something. Find the color, take the picture, and then that way when you make the block, at least you know that fabric is what I need of that one, and this is this, and this, and this. It doesn't have to be the fabric you're using. Because I make these quite often with fabric that's in there from other blocks I've made. I just use the fabric. But it's block building, And if you can't find the block that you want, you can build your own block. And that's a trick too. Because it's getting those half square triangles, and you got to make sure every space is, because you can't put a half square triangle, or a triangle on top of a square, because it calculates all the square, or it leaves an empty space. But it's like, it's gonna go. I can only get on my community page through my phone. I haven't checked if I can get through it on my like I said, shut that one down. It doesn't listen to me all the time. View channel. Go to community page. I always have to go to the newest. Oops. Cool, Kim. Here's Kim's for everybody. I like that. And then here is Cheryl's. The other day when I explained the four heads of the bunnies, that's what you do. Quick and easy table topper. That way you guys don't have to take the time to go look. Cheryl and I was picking out fabric together. And her background's going to be all sorts of bunny rabbits in the grass. Because I said it would be a cute border, but you'd be chopping off beheading so many rabbits. You can cut an egg in half. I feel you can cut an egg in half. But I did hang Randy's green blocks so he could see my 1 in 100. So now I have 2 in 99. Look at my memories for April 1st. But yes, it's amazing, just simple things. A simple block can turn into so many different things. We just have to be able to imagine it. And then when I was sitting here playing with the bunnies that day, I could see it. I could see it happening. And then Cheryl, I'm going to make she says, I'm taking a break after her patriotic table runners, table toppers, whatever we call them. She said, I'm taking a break and I'm going to do the bunny. That way I did your block. I want to see Lori's when she gets hers done too. But I have plenty of time. I could do that. I have one Easter background fabric. I don't know how much is in there. But again, that's going through all these different fabrics I got and coming up with other things. They can't hop around because they're being quilted. And they can't multiply anymore because you're quilting it. The one behind me, it's like that one. That's the one I see behind me. I have a chicken on top of my head. And then the bunny quilker over there. And then this one down here holding up D. It's keeping her head from falling. Yeah, that's the diamond art one. And it's turning around. It's facing one way, but its head's turned looking at the Happy Easter. I thought that was unusual, but I'm not the designer. It's like I wasn't the designer that did the cross stitch of it. But it looks like the collage quilting. And that was a fun one to do because it had to be done by last Thursday. So I stayed up until midnight Wednesday night and got it done. The bunny pattern, no, that's a Sandra. If you need the bunny pattern, Kim, we can forward it to you through, Cheryl can forward it to you because she has your contacts more than I do. Yeah, that's a diamond art. That thing, putting that stripe wallpaper up on there, that background, that was fun. That was fun. Because trying to keep everything in those straight lines. Because it's not straight lines one way, it's straight lines, two ways. And I don't have the metal thing yet. I about got my cheese slicer because it's got a pretty straight edge. I about got the cheese slicer out to do that. But it's like, so I'm going to go through my scraps again and see if I can come out with some more bunnies. And make a table topper for going out for the dinner. I know if I move this little girl, she's going to be wide awake. And do I want that right this minute? Because Cheryl's daughter printed it off. And it wasn't, because when I drew out the paper, when I send it to Cheryl, it brings it out as, it just doesn't have the rest of the writing on. Like, you have to remember, if you want several bunnies, her ears are all placed on the same side, and that's why she got the effect she did. And we found that out by taking the time to actually, I placed them out here, even if they was upside down, to know that the ears had to be on all the same direction. That's how we found that out. Trial and error. We did do that. But it's just one of those things. We use my blocks as the examples. On that one, she needs apple juice and goat milk. Ooh, she just found some more gems. But it's like, I'm glad everybody come over and joined me. What else? Any other questions? And that bunny is 8.5 by 6.5. We did measure it today. It's like, I was helping Cheryl. I was in a whole nother room, so I was going by the top of my head what it was. See, it does help when you are the one that did it, it does help that I was the one that made it, so I knew the measurements of the blocks, because it's 4.5-inch square and 2.5 by 4.5 rectangles of the print, 2.5 by 4.5 rectangles of the background color, plus 10 1.25-inch squares for the, I call snowballing. I call it snowball. You snowball all 4 sides of the head, and on the ears, you snowball the same 3 corners, whether it be the left ear or the right ear. So there's 2 on one end, and it depends where you put the others. If you put them opposite, you don't get an ear that lines up. And it does look really funny if you put them on wrong, because you can't put them together. You can't put them together. It's just one of those things. Oh, somebody somewhere, but I'm sure it's not Mama here. Nope. Grandpa is in town. Boy, you open these things up and they disappear fast. But I want to thank everybody for joining me today. And I'll be back tomorrow. I told you which block I'm doing. And so we will call it a day and watch for the finished quilted one. Cheryl will post it. Cheryl will post it. I'll make her across the room. I will make her do it. It's just one of those things. That way you guys can all see it. But I will let you guys go for now. And happy quilting, and see you tomorrow.